are now in the month of June, so that means today I'm going to rank all the 2019 May releases that I saw from the worst to the best. Let's do it. What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor, and the 2019 freaking year is flying by. We're already in the month of June, but now we gotta talk about all the May movies, and I saw 6 2019 May releases. Before I give you guys my list, make sure to go ahead and comment yours down below. Which of these movies have you seen? Which haven't you seen? Which did you love? Which did you hate? Were you disappointed by a couple? I was disappointed by a couple. Whatever you guys got, make sure to comment that down below. And with all that said, let's begin. So coming to last place is going to be Netflix's The Last Summer, and this is the epitome of a romantic comedy. It followed every cliche line. The acting is overzealous, the comedy sometimes here, sometimes there, and this is the kind of the epitome of a Netflix original movie. Everything's very unrelatable. Everything's so over the top. The actors in this movie are great. Sure, they had KJ Apa and other good stars from other TV shows, but the characters themselves, they're all great at something. One's, I'm a great DJ. One's, I'm gonna be the next Steven Spielberg. One's, I'm the greatest model. One, oh, I'm the best baseball player ever. None of that is likely. The kids I went to high school with, they freaking pick their nose until senior year. Netflix makes everything overzealous. It makes it all seem something more than it really is, and this movie really falls into that cliche romantic comedy. It's played out the same. You can see exactly where this movie's gonna go. From the beginning to the end, you see exactly where it's gonna go. They have too many different storylines. Some over here, some over here. You care about basically 2, and there's probably 5 storylines going on in total. I wasn't the most excited for this movie, but I was still very disappointed. Coming in at number 5 is going to be extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. And disappointment is the key word here. Zac Efron carried his movies on his shoulders. The only really enjoyable part, he embodied the role of Ted Bundy. He absolutely killed it. But the rest of the movie was so just boring, so bland, did not take a risk. And Netflix was very scared to take a risk, and I get it. It's a Ted Bundy story. It's a very touchy subject. But everything was so vague. You had to really fill it in. And a lot of people I talked to said, thank God I watched the Ted Bundy tapes, because I would have no idea what the heck this movie was going on. If you didn't see the Ted Bundy tapes, it's very easy to kind of get confused. You have to infer everything that goes on in this movie. It plays it too vague. It's one of the most craziest stories ever for a serial killer, and they played it so safe, did not take a risk at all, and it felt like you're watching a documentary half the time and then watching a biography the other half the time. But Zac Efron could easily get nominated for an Oscar. I don't think he will, just because how the movie was so boring and so played out. I really think Zac Efron is going to get snubbed here. He absolutely killed it, but the movie itself was just a flat-out disappointing. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Godzilla King of the Monsters, and this is another one that disappointed me. Sure, it had some more action. Out of the 2-hour and 10-minute runtime, it had about 30 minutes of action, which is okay when the action was there, but everything else was just boring to me. I almost fell asleep several times. It followed the human characters so much that their storylines didn't really carry. You have great actors in there, and none of them really bring out their acting in this role. It all seems just cliche. It all seems kind of dumb. The character choices here were absolutely just bonkers. And when you finally do get to the action, the cameras are very shaky, like it's a news reporter out there trying to film it. It's not a $100 million budget movie like it had. It was more, that should be a wide shot to be able to see the monsters killing each other. You have the angle of the human. I'm 5'10". I'm looking 1,000 feet in the air at Godzilla and a 3-headed dragon fight. How the heck am I gonna see it? And in this movie, that's exactly what they did. You're right by the Titan's feet, and you're looking up over them fighting, and it's a very choppy, very hard to see, very, very frustrating movie to watch when you got these big action. Everything it promised from the trailers didn't really deliver in this one. Coming in at number 3 is going to be John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, and not a disappointment, just a fun movie. The John Wick movies all bring the action. They bring everything and more you really want. The kills at an all-time high. The storyline is literally following Chapter 2, goes right into this movie. But of the 3 John Wick movies, this one didn't really have it all for me. A lot of things seem to be kind of the same. Like, the fight scenes were all very similar in this one. You've seen John Wick kill people crazy before. You've seen John Wick get his butt kicked before, but this one had the same fight scene for about 10 minutes where John Wick got kicked into glass mirrors and glass windows, glass walls, probably 30 times. Every time he kept getting kicked into a glass wall, fell through, he's getting his butt kicked. Like, it seemed all just too familiar. We've seen it before. But other than that, the John Wick movies are just great. They deliver on the action, they deliver on the crazy kills, and we're getting another John Wick coming out 2 years from now or next year. I'm not as excited for it as I was for this one, but this one really gave you all the action, everything you wanted. Had a couple little cliffhangers in there, but all in all, John Wick movies, they're just fun to watch. I mean, at number 2 is going to be Longshot, starring Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, a movie that was not on my radar whatsoever. that I absolutely love. It's gonna go down as one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. My God, just a fun, very funny, very cute romantic comedy that didn't follow the cliche of the romantic comedy. It went down the same path as lots of romantic comedies do, but it had some curveballs in there, it had some change-ups. It went down a way you thought it was going to, but it took a different path to get there. It took a detour to get to that final destination. You knew how it was gonna end up, but the way it brought you there was so different, so refreshing. Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen have some of the most unbelievable chemistry that no one ever thought was really gonna happen. Just a very fun, heartfelt movie that doesn't really have that big dip that most comedies and romantic comedies do. Kind of plays through that, and the movie is great, has a great cast of supporting characters, and when you get to the end of the movie, you feel good. You have laughed your butt off, you're wiping tears from your eyes, and you leave the theater with the biggest smile on your face. But coming in at number 1 is going to be Aladdin, the Disney live-action remake that I just loved every second of. It really brought that Disney magic to life. Guy Ritchie's directing was my favorite part of this movie. His wide angles, the shots, the transitions, the musical numbers were at an all-time high. This is now my favorite Disney live-action movie, and it just brought everything. Aladdin is such a classic tale, and they really nailed it on his head. And Will Smith easily carries this movie on his shoulders, and he easily carries this movie to the number 1 spot for all 6 May 2019 releases that I've seen. What's your guys' list? Make sure to go ahead and comment that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do me a favor and hit that big subscribe button, but also go see a movie, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!